Hey there everybody, Mandy here. It's been a long time since I've done a live video in my home. Last week we were out of town and we did a couple of live videos there, but it's been a while since I've done one here. But something kind of came up and I've had quite a few people talk about it with me in the last month or so, and then I also have had a couple of hey there, Peyton. Ooh, there's some new stuff going on here on live videos. But anyway, whenever you join, please let me know and say hello, because if you've watched my videos before, you know that I love talking to y'all, chatting to y'all with y'all one-on-one, and I also go back and look at the comments. So make sure you say hello. But anyway, I've had a couple of people actually talk to me about this. Hey, Miss Peyton. And also it kind of came up in business in the last couple of weeks. And I actually addressed it with some of those people just a second ago. For those of you who do not know, I have two blogs and I also have a travel agency. My travel agents have been experiencing some nasty stuff online and also kind of some toxic clients. And we've all kind of been there in life in general. And it's really hard to have those types of people around all the time. This one's really hard for me to talk about because it's just hard. It's really hard because whenever there are toxic people in your life, they may not even realize it. They may not even know what they're doing at the time. You may be going through a season in your life where they kind of trigger you or something triggers. So, it's really hard. But in this incident, it's like I was telling my travel agents, there's not enough money in the world to be unhappy. And if you're unhappy with a client or you're unhappy with somebody like that, it becomes toxic, and what it does is it wears you down. It really slows you down, it burns you out, it makes your job even harder. And if you have friends or family around like that too, it can suck the life out of you. And so you really have to be careful to not get to that point, because you can totally get to burnout. You can totally get to being anxiety driven. You can totally get to that point where it's just really hard to function. And, in the online world, let's just say, for instance, let's just talk about the online world first. My business is online. It's mainly online. I take it offline sometimes, but it's mainly online. I don't know if you saw a couple of months ago, I got a nasty comment on my blog, and I was pretty proud of myself the way that I handled it, because I handled it a lot better than I would have in the past. And in the past, I would have been like, oh, well, maybe they're right. I just stink at this. And I was like, you know what? No, I don't stink. They stink for trolling. They stink for being mean. They stink because I triggered them and they don't know how to handle it. And so I was right, and oh well, I'm not going to let people make me doubt myself. Do I still go through it? Heck yeah, we all do. I mean, you start that self-doubt, but you have to squash it down. You've got to say, no, I'm going to release this. So, online, it's very easy to do. I love doing this, and it's called the delete button. I used to feel really, really bad about deleting people, but I don't anymore. Because if you're going to be rude and you're going to be ugly to me, then you really don't like me anyway, so why are you sticking around? There's no reason for you to be here, so just let it go. So I'll delete, I unfriend people, I block them from my page, I block them from my groups. I do it almost daily because some people are just mean. So you kind of have to bless and release them. Then you've got those people that are, They could be very negative. And it kind of triggers you, because we're all human. You're going to be triggered by something at some point in time in your life. And what I mean by trigger is if you are struggling with something, maybe say you're struggling with your weight. Just for instance, maybe you're struggling with your weight. Maybe, you have a hard time seeing all those bikini people on Facebook or whatever. You don't have to follow those people. You can unfollow them for a season and then go back to it. If you feel like it's not really them that's toxic. It's just the fact that you are triggered and you can't handle it at the moment. That's okay. For you to heal and to move forward, sometimes you just have to pull back and let it go for just a little while. And there's nothing wrong with that. So on Facebook, Facebook in general, you can unfollow people. So then whenever you unfollow them on your timeline, they're not going to show up on your timeline anymore. So then you're like, oh, well, I don't see that in my timeline all the time, so I'm not being triggered. Toxic people are not always toxic. It could just be a trigger that you have. So treat it accordingly. I learned so much from you. The amazing thing about you is that you practice what you preach. You know what? I was going to stop and actually say, I do not talk about anything that I have not gone through. And every single thing that I talk about on these lives, in my blog, even posts that I put in my groups or on my page or Instagram, wherever, I'm either going through it right then or I have been through it and I'm overcoming it and coming out of it. And it's so easy to get sucked back into. And even with this, it's very easy to get sucked back in because then you start feeling guilty. And it's like I was just telling the other group that I was talking to, some days I'll hit that delete button and I'm like, I feel guilty because I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But, if it triggers you, okay, thank you so much. If it triggers you and it upsets you, then there's something that you're going through and you've got to get past it. And you've got to be able to get past it in the appropriate way. And if that means pulling yourself away from certain people or not looking at their stuff on social media or just pulling away for a season, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means you need time to heal with what's going on with you. And most of the time, it is a trigger, of your own. And if you're being triggered, then God is going to bring up some stuff in you that you need to work on. And that's the beauty of it. But and even somebody said something this morning about me posting something online, and she said, everything that you post, it speaks to me in some way. Or she put something to the effect of that it really hits me or something. And I made sure that I wrote back, everything that I post on here, either I've been through it or I'm going through it, so I'm right there with you and I'm walking with you. So this one is a very hard. It's just so hard. And then you've got those people, that are friends and family and that are close to you. And again, it has everything to do with how you're triggered. And if you're triggered in the wrong way, then you need to just back off just a little bit. If you're spending every day together, and you're getting just like so tense all the time, you probably need to back off and go like once a week and see them. So it's very easy to get sucked in. And it's just like, I think I know my mama's not the only one that used to say this. Something to the effect, you are who you hang out with. And, you know, some people just, they're just negative, and they will be negative, and you can't always change them. So you've sometimes just got to release. Yeah, buddy? Okay, thank you. I will read it 1 second. They're sending me notes now from the living room. They're writing it down and then coming in here and giving it to me. My guess is that it's lunchtime and they're ready to eat lunch. But anyway, so I just wanted to come here really fast and just talk about that, because everybody deals with being triggered, or everybody deals with someone that's toxic in their life. And sometimes it's not even them that's toxic, it's just they're triggering how your own insecurities. And sometimes you have to check yourself. Sometimes they really are toxic and negative, and you're just gonna have to pull away. And just pulling away doesn't mean that you pull away forever. You can pull away for a season. There have been people in my life that I've had to pull away from. There have even been one person in my life in particular that pulled away on purpose for me, because she knew that I couldn't do it myself, because I felt really bad. But she knew that I needed time to heal from something, and she knew that she reminded me of that place that I was. So thank God for people like that too, because I didn't have the nerve to do it myself, but she did it for me. She pulled away. She knew that it was a season, and she knew that our friendship would start right back up. But she knew that I needed that time to heal. So thank God for those types of friends. And those are the types of friends and the types of family that are always going to be there and be true to you. Hey, Jania, I'm so glad that you're here. So I hope that that helps in some way, because it was really laying heavy on my heart, because I had been there. I've done that. I walked it. I still walk it. But you've just got to walk in confidence and know that this is the best thing for you, your family. You don't have to pull away for forever. It could be just for a season. It could be just for a day or two. Who knows? But you need that time to heal. Take that time. Do what you need to do for you, your family. Give it to God and let it go. Bless and release. I love that. You just have to sometimes just say, bless you, but I release you. I've got to go for just a little while. So Ingenia says, yes, you get it, girl. I mean, it's so real. All of us women, all of us people go through this, but nobody really wants to talk about it. So it's time for us to talk about it and to actually say, it's okay. It's all right. It doesn't make you a bad person. Just, as my daughter says, she starts singing, let it go, let it go. So yeah, just every time you have to bless and release, just let it go after that and start singing that song. So I hope this helped in some way. I know it helps me, and every time that I talk to y'all, because it allows me to vent, and not really vent, I shouldn't say vent, but get it out. And so it helps a lot. So anyway, until next time, I would really love for y'all to join my group, Being More Than Just a Mom, where we talk about anything and everything. We talk about actually more over there than we do right here. So if you would love to join that amazing community of women, mamas, all women alike of all ages, you are more than welcome to come over there. Click on my cover photo, and it will have a link that'll take you right there. So I will talk to you next time. Thank you for being here.